Hello and welcome to Eurocine Expo 2025. It's Friday morning, isn't it, I think? Yes, yeah. Talking to Vanessa Whyte.
Hi.
Thanks for coming over. I'm trying to dig into DP's careers, but also finding out what was the spark that set you down this route? And because everyone has a slightly different story.
I feel like mine is the same as lots of people.
We'll see.
I got into stills photography as a sort of young, probably when I was about 11, and then very seriously when I was about 14, my dad taught me to take photos, and he built a darkroom in our cupboard. So I learned to print black and white, and I was kind of in that world, and it was sort of whether I was going to go to art school or not, and I just was very much a stills person. But I got a job as a trainee when I was 18 and realised that filmmaking, I was a movie lover as well, so filmmaking and being on set and being around people was more appealing than sort of being on my own all the time. So that was, seeing what a DP did on set was the thing that cemented it for me as a career. But it probably took me another 5 years. I did an academic degree, and then I was working in TV in various roles as runners, production, edit, whatever. And then I retrained and went back to the National Film School in the UK, and I did a master's there in cinematography.
Do you think that's a benefit of doing those bits around, not just concentrating on the camera department, being involved in other elements of the... I
think it just depends who you are and what your learning system is like. And to be honest, I would have loved to just be a camera trainee and get in. I just couldn't. I didn't know people. I didn't know how to get into it.
That is the problem, though. So.
I found it. I got a job as a runner, and you get one job, and then you get another and another. So it wasn't an intention to work in TV production or edit assistant or any. I ended up in accounts assistant on The Queen, weirdly. So I just, you're in your early 20s, you don't know anything, and you just go from one job to another, and people who like you, have worked with you, offer you another opportunity. So that's kind of. Definitely was not a strategy. No. It was just what happened with my life and how to make money and live in London and learn. And doing that made me realise, okay, this isn't a route to being a DP. I really need to find another way. And that's why I applied to the National Film School. Yeah.
But it takes tenacity to keep at it, because like you say, it's a lot of the time it's who you know, and it's about having the gumption to keep, okay, I'll do this job, and then who can I meet, who can I get on to after that kind of thing.
Yes. I mean, I'm not that person who's thinking about a plan and having a strategy. I was very young and naive and just having a really good time. So even though I wasn't following my dream goal, I was enjoying myself, I was learning a lot. I just love being on set. And I think actually working in TV production, when you're in the office and you're organising shoots for other people to go on, that was when I realised I really need to get out of the office, because I was booking all the kit for the crew, I was meeting all the camera crews and handing over their kits, I was doing all their train tickets, and I was organising all the shoot, and then I'd send them off on their way, and then I'd be so sad and have massive FOMO, and I was like, I want to be on the camera team and not at the office, organising their fun. So it was quite good to sort of cement what I really wanted to be doing. And of course you learn, especially when you start out in shorts or low budget things, knowing how to put together a kit list or how to organise your transport or your insurance, all of those things are such useful skills for the beginning. So everything you learn around filmmaking is useful, I think. But it's not necessarily a straight path.
No. So once you graduated, what were the first sort of things you got into?
So I graduated, I was very much in the shorts world, but the TV production company I worked for before I went to film school did a lot of live music TV and events. So I actually ended up as part of a multi-camera team doing that. So I did gigs, concerts, festivals. Sometimes I was doing the documentary segments, like interviewing bands, and or sometimes I sort of be doing everything, interview a band, run across a field, go to a tent, join another 4 cameras to film a band, come back, do some GVs and landscape shots of the festival. So I went back doing that freelance, and that was kind of a money job, but it was really fun. And then also trying to do short films and narrative as well. And then slowly that builds up to shorts and more music videos, paid work, commercials. And then I spent a year also as a sidebar doing behind the scenes documentaries where I was just on my own they basically hired a cheap person, me, with one camera to just be there all the time. So on X-Men First Class, I think I did 6 weeks of prep, filmed 6 weeks of prep, and then another 4 months of the shoot. So I kind of had an access all areas pass, and I just turn up at Pinewood at 8 in the morning, 7 in the morning, and just wander around all the departments. And I knock on the door to like the storyboard artists, be like, what are you up to today? Chat with them, go to Creatures, go to, you know, and it was really amazing to be on a big budget thing like that. And I learned a lot from, you know, all different things. So I did that, and then I did Prometheus. But then after a year of doing behind the scenes, when you've got nothing new on your reel, you sort of realize, okay, this is another career in itself. And actually, I've learned a lot, but I needed to sort of concentrate on my own work. So I stopped doing that.
Yeah. And now as a DP, you're working on TV features. So you've been on Ted Lasso. You did several episodes. How many seasons have you?
I started halfway through season 2, so I did 3 episodes on season 2. I did half of season 3, 6 episodes, and now I'm prepping for season 4.
So what is it like jumping into a show that has got some in the can already, another DP, and?
Well, I the way I broke into TV was through second unit work, so that's quite familiar territory for me. You know, all my first TV credits were as second unit. So you come on and the DP, either they give you a lighting plan and a shot list, and it's literally like, go and do these things, and you have to make sure you're doing it to their taste and what they want. Or sometimes you don't get any time with them, and it's up to you to sort of be responsible and go and check with the rushes or the previous assembly or the DIT and say, well, what's the vibe? Like, how are they framing it? What's the color like? What's their contrast like? And I mean, it's actually a really good way to learn, because for me, I did a lot of second unit for a lot of different DPs. So you sort of jump in and you have to put on someone else's eyes. And often on second unit, you get such little resources. So my first ever day as second unit on my first TV show was for Chris Ross. And I had like a white office with 2 corner windows. And I had about 20 shots for all different episodes, all different times of day. And it was like nighttime club. And then the next shot would be like insert mobile phone, day street. And then the next one. So it was just like, you just have to be really creative, really inventive. And it was a bit like film school. You're like given a challenge and you're like, okay, how do I make, and you've got the scene that it's got to fit into. So it's like one shot missing from a scene that's already cut. So you've got the edit and you're trying to work out how to get your shot to look like it's part of this sequence. So then if you jump in on a later block as a DP, you know, your job is to fit into that style. And, you know, you're using the same package, the same lenses. Often you're using the same crew or gaffer, which is amazingly helpful because they've already got their set up. So, yeah, for me, that wasn't so intimidating because I've done it before, and I'd done lots of TV shows by that point anyway, as a you know, when you shoot the whole thing. So that was fine. It's more just trying to fit into the vibe. Like on a show like Ted Lasso, which is very like, they're very close. The cast are all good friends. The crew are all good friends. They'd all been on since season 1. Like for me, the challenge was like how to like join this party very late.
Yeah, true. So it's literally walk in halfway through a party kind of thing.
Halfway through a party with a mask on and comms and COVID distancing, which is really hard to get to know people. But yeah.
So does it get, as that, you know, familiarity grows, you know, think, great, I'm going to dive back into that kind of thing, and it's
yeah.
So with, you know, when you're doing a show like that, you know, you're doing everything. You're doing location work, you're doing interiors, exteriors, sets, probably in some virtual production. I don't know if that was in the, you know.
Not yet.
Yeah. No,
we'll see.
Is that something you'd like to, have you been able to try that at all?
I would really like to do it. I mean, I've done it, you know, the sort of poor man's version of that, where you just bring the screens into your studio and you're projecting on them. I haven't done it in a bespoke virtual production studio yet. I would like to do it because I'm sure it'd be better than what we've been doing in the past. I mean, it's great to have new tools to play with.
That's what's exciting about it is there is, you know, I mean, lighting has been revolutionised over the last decade kind of thing, and virtual production, and then learning to light for that is a whole other art. Well, best of luck with the rest of
Thank you very
much.
much.
Thanch for speaking to us, Vanessa, and hopefully we'll catch up with you again down the line.
Nice to meet you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.